Welcome to VAR India News Hour. Cryptocurrency won't be banned but will get regulated with conditions. The value of crypto assets worldwide crossed $2 trillion this year. Bitcoin is the most widely adopted crypto asset. It is worth over $900 billion, more than any tech unicorn founded in the last decade. The recent meeting with the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance had a detailed discussion with the stakeholders, and the Prime Minister then reviewed the matter alongside the Finance Minister and RBI. So there finally seems a ray of hope that some structure will be brought into this unregulated space. Now onwards, it will be structured to help India rather than a ban. It will create a safeguard for retail investors. The crypto companies based in India will not move out of India, so there will be no flight of capital. It will create a healthy ecosystem for India and Indians to explore emerging technologies and become leaders and innovators in this space. India is one of many countries which has not taken any clear stand on it. There has been talk that the government will introduce legislation on cryptocurrency, but nothing concrete has been done due to India's conservative approach. The lack of awareness, transparency and clarity puts the money of the investors, most importantly retail investors, at risk. This industry, which holds so much of capital, is not monitored or regulated in India, and that should be the point from where India's policy making should begin. Global crypto adoption is accelerating with ongoing technological innovation due to corporations worldwide offering crypto assets to consumers. These crypto assets serve as digital gold or tokens powering decentralized applications and are used for transfers, remittances, trading, lending, capital raising, etc., potentially impacting industries ranging from law to logistics, media and cybersecurity. IndiaTech.org has created a 5-point framework to regulate the industry, mitigating these risks while fostering innovation. The 5-point framework recommends regulations to define, introduce, enable, allow and encourage necessary checks and balances for the optimal exploration of crypto's potentially leading the enhanced adoption. The 5-point framework are: first, define crypto assets and introduce a system for registering local homegrown crypto exchanges in India. Second, introduce sufficient checks and balances through well-defined reporting mechanisms and accounting standards to counter suspicious activities. Third, enable taxation to treat crypto assets similarly to other current assets, generating additional revenue for the state. Fourth, allow innovative uses of crypto by businesses and create specific safeguards to protect retail investors and fraud. Fifth, encourage self-regulation for the industry, include a code of conduct and regulatory framework in alignment with the government's primary objective of safeguarding consumers and financial stability. Furthermore, the US government is focused on supporting innovation while regulating cryptocurrencies. Switzerland has also embraced cryptocurrency. Citizens can purchase Bitcoin at hundreds of automated teller machines and ticket vending machines across Switzerland. Let's look into today's headlines in VAR India. PM Modi suggests one nation, one legislative platform and quality debate in Parliament. Ahead of the winter session of the Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday suggested separate timings for quality debate in the House, as well as the idea of one nation, one legislative platform to give a technological boost to the parliamentary system and connect the democratic units of the country. Addressing the All India Presiding Officers Conference, PM Modi suggested that no political mudslinging will be allowed and the debate will be conducted in complete seriousness during the separate timing set aside for quality debate. Addressing the inaugural session of the 82nd All India Presiding Officers Conference via video conferencing, he said, "The traditions and arrangements of our household should be Indian in nature. Our policies, our laws should strengthen the spirit of Indianness with the resolve of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat." IT Minister to commend Cybersecurity Grand Challenge winners. Electronics and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav along with Minister of State for Electronics and IT Rajiv Chandrasekhar on Thursday will facilitate the winners of the Cybersecurity Grand Challenge. The winner of the challenge is entitled for a prize money of ₹1 crore, while the first runner-up and second runner-up will win ₹60 lakh and ₹40 lakh respectively. The Data Security Council of India and the Ministry of Electronics and IT had launched the Cybersecurity Grand Challenge on January 15, 2020 to foster innovation and encourage the growth of Indian cybersecurity products and solutions. Orissa government to set up 14 cyber police stations. The Orissa government has decided to set up 14 new cyber police stations at different places, including one each in Bhubaneswar and Cuttack. The crime branch also plans to set up a state-level body to oversee the functioning and performance of all cyber police stations in the state. there has been an alarming increase of 31% in cybercrime in Odisha in 2020 as compared to 2019. The NCRB report showed that altogether 1,049 cybercrime cases have been pending trial in courts. With this dismal show, the conviction rate stood at 0 last year. A senior crime branch official said, since cybercrimes are on the rise and many people are falling prey to cyber frauds, we need a cyber police station in each district to deal with digital crime effectively. SBI signs pact with Ugrow Capital to finance MSMEs. The State Bank of India has entered into a co-lending agreement with fintech firm Ugrow Capital to offer financing solutions to micro, small and medium enterprises. The co-lending agreement aims to enhance last-mile connectivity, financially empower MSMEs and further drive financial inclusions in the country. Through this collaboration, SBI and Ugrow Capital aim to pay out up to Rs 500 crore by March 2022 to provide credit to MSMEs. The co-lending model aims to give the borrower the best interest rate and better reach. World's most dangerous malware Emotet is back. Emotet, once described as the world's most dangerous malware before being taken down by a major international police operation, is apparently back. Another malware botnet, TrickBot, which became the go-to for many cyber criminals following the January takedown, is being used to install Emotet on infected Windows systems. Cybersecurity researchers from Edge Intel, Cryptolimus and others have also confirmed that this does look like the return of Emotet, which appears to be using a different encryption technique from the past. Emotet malware provided its controllers with a backdoor into compromised machines, which could be leased out to other groups, including ransomware gangs, to use for their own campaigns. Emotet also used infected systems to send automated phishing emails to increase the size of the botnet before it was taken out in January this year. That's all for now. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to War India News Magazine. You can download the War India app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.